Meanwhile, 4 people have been killed in protests in Haiti over the past few days, as tens of thousands have taken to the streets to demand that the country's president resign. It seems like a couple of times a year we hear stories like this on the news, but what most media outlets never mention is the fact that the United States, through military intervention and coups, have shaped Haiti in many ways, more than Haitians have shaped themselves. Here's what's worse. Our most high-profile politicians, families like the Bushes and the Clintons, are largely responsible for the government that Haitians are protesting against. Here to talk about this is and what the U.S. role is in Haiti's problems is Jemima Pierre. Ms. Pierre is a professor at UCLA. She's preparing a book that's called Haiti, the Second Occupation. Professor, thanks so much for being with us. Being from Miami, obviously, I have a lot of ties, both personal and journalistic, to the Haitian community, and I've always heard true disappointment with the Clintons after the earthquake and their role, which is frankly described with one word for most of the people that I talk to: corrupt. Is that accusation true? Should that stick?
For the Clintons, yes, definitely. I think the Clintons, I wrote a piece a long time ago called Bill Clinton Loves Haiti, where, there's a discourse that, what he's doing, what he did, especially after the earthquake, was because he loves Haiti so much. But the point, the reality is that Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton as well, the Clintons have not been good for Haiti. And we can go all the way back to Clinton's presidency. But I think for these protests, what's more important is Hillary Clinton's role as Secretary of State in installing Michel Martelly, who is the predecessor to the current Jovenel Moïse, who's the president right now. And so Hillary Clinton played a very big, decisive role in forcing Martelly's election right after the earthquake, and then allowing the emergence of this really rogue government that the people don't want at this point.
So that's an interesting. It's interesting what you're saying, because it's really a double-pronged attack, if you will, that the Clintons have forged against the Haitian people. One, after the earthquake, they essentially had a foundation that didn't do its job. They were supposed to provide housing. Instead, it was disastrous what happened, and a lot of people walked away with a lot of millions of dollars instead of the Haitian people. That's one. Then, that was the husband. That's Bill Clinton. Then Hillary Clinton walks in, and she essentially gives them a leader who is as corrupt as the system that we just talked about, right?
That is correct, and to be fair, the truth is, the U.S. policy against Haiti has always been one of imperialism, and so Hillary Clinton, of course, was behind the push to actually install Martelly, who they thought would be amenable to U.S. policies, continuing U.S. imperialism in the country, and so she played this role, and then Clinton, after the earthquake, became UN Special Envoy, and then was co-chair of the recovery funds for Haiti, the $13 billion that were dispersed. And he basically was, the governor and treasurer of Haiti. He decided where funds went and so on.
Let me ask you a question that a lot of people talk about when they hear about Haiti. Haiti's a mess. It's never going to be fixed. It was horrible during Baby Doc and Papa Doc, the Duvaliers. It was no better during Cedras, and there's always going to be somebody in that country who is not good. It's impossible to fix that country. To which you say what?
Well, what I say is, if the only time you hear about Haiti is when you have protests of the people out, going against continued U.S. imperialism, then of course you would say that. But to think about Haiti in terms only of these specific crises, to actually completely ignore the continuous role over 200 years of U.S. imperialism in Haiti. What's happening now is a severe gas shortage that people are protesting against. They're protesting against this gas shortage because the president is trying to raise gas prices. But this also means the president is being forced to raise gas prices because the IMF is asking the president to get rid of subsidies because the U.S. government is trying to squeeze Venezuela because of the Petrocaribe arrangement that Chavez had set with about 17 Caribbean countries. And so what's going on is these protests then the Haitian people are paying for the corruption that emerges from the Petrocaribe scandal, and the corruption comes from the people who are installed by the U.S. government to run this country, in addition to the core group which make the decision. And the core group is a group that was established right after the coup d'etat in 2004, and it contains about 7 European nations, and as well as the OAS and UN, that basically decides whether or not Jovenel Moise goes. And so at this point right now, the core group is split, and the U.S. and Brazil are the 2 major members of the core group that are forcing Jovenel to stay even when the people don't want it.
That is such a smart conversation of a very complex situation. In the end, it sounds like you're saying that if you're a poor country in the Caribbean or Latin America and you don't suck up to the United States, get ready to have your economy hurt and get ready for a lot of corruption. Fabulous.
That is correct.
Thank you. We appreciate your time, Professor, and your expertise. Meanwhile, tonight, a massive iceberg.